Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 458. Phil Graham here. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to spot Facebook ad and AI scammers because they are lying to you and they are everywhere, my friends. There are so many scammers. There's so much bad information. There's wolves in sheep's clothing and they might look legit, but so many of them not only give horrible advice, but a lot of them are plain scammers. So today I'm going to share how I spot these scammers and then also, of course, how to avoid them. So I hope you guys are doing really well. This is one of my most favorite parts of the week doing this episode. I do it every single Tuesday. And speaking of avoiding scammers, that was one of the main reasons I started this podcast back in 2017. Can you believe that? It's actually been almost 9 years from when I've started this podcast, and I've done an episode every single Tuesday for 9 years. So it's pretty incredible. But that's one of the big reasons why I started this in the first place. And I thought there was a lot back then. Oh my goodness. There's 1,000 times more now than there was then even. So this episode's really important. Now, before we jump into that, if you guys are looking for some help with your ads, with your AI, with your marketing, whether you want one-on-one coaching or somebody to run it for you, for either one of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. And let's connect. So I want to jump right in, but I want to start off with a little caveat. This is not an exhaustive list. There's plenty of things that scammers do that are not on this list as well. And then secondly, there could be exceptions. I mean, somebody could do something on this list and not be a scammer. It is possible, so keep that in mind. But I will say, at least for me personally, in terms of how I judge scammers, based off of all my experience and everything I've seen and all the people that come to me after getting scammed, anybody who meets pretty much any of this criteria for the most part that I'm going to share, I would avoid them and I would run the other way if I were you. So red flag number one, if you're learning from somebody that doesn't actually do what they're teaching, this, my friends, is so common. There are so many people that sell Facebook ad courses, or they just try and be an influencer and have YouTube videos about how to do Facebook ads, but they don't have clients. They don't actually do ads. They don't have clients. It's crazy. So think about who you're learning from. Are they doing what they're teaching? It doesn't matter if they're doing it for themselves or they're doing it for clients or both. They should be doing it, because if they're not, then they're probably not going to be that good at teaching it to you unless they're just regurgitating a lot of crap. And there's so many bad courses out there from people selling you how to do it that don't actually have clients and don't run ads for clients. That's insane. So that is very common. And that's something I would absolutely avoid. Red flag number two, they spend all their time on social media posting all day. It's like their whole life evolves around engagement and likes and followers and subscribers and social media. In fact, this can be really tricky because sometimes they might actually look or seem successful because they might have a lot of followers. They might get a lot of engagement. They might have a lot of subscribers. But many times in order to get to that, it's because they're doing nothing but posting all day. They're not running an actual business other than trying to be an influencer. So if you're trying to be an influencer, then go for it. It might be a good person to learn from if you're interested in that kind of, let's call it crap. But if you're trying to run ads, I would stay far away from somebody that sits there and posts all day and that's all they do. To me, that is a huge red flag. Red flag number three. This is a huge one. So there's so many scammers out there that will offer guarantees, income claims. They claim they have their secret method or an easy method where they essentially guarantee you success. It's like they've tested it out and all kinds of people have done it. And if you just follow their plan, you're going to have success. In fact, it might even be in 2 weeks. It's going to be that fast. Doesn't matter if you have no experience or no skill, you can do it. That's a bunch of BS, but it's everywhere. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff works in terms of people falling for it and then getting screwed and losing time and sometimes, unfortunately, money. There's a lot of this going on, not only with Facebook ad agencies and ad content, but also tons with the AI stuff now. There are people making insane amounts of money teaching how to start an AI agency with no skill and no experience and no credibility or trust, and saying that you can make 10 or 20 grand a month almost right away. When the crazy thing is, the person that's teaching it didn't even do it themselves. And there's tons of these people. They're just making money trying to sell to sheep and take advantage of people that don't realize what's going on. So that's another big red flag. The next red flag for me when it comes to scammers is a lot of times it's all about them. Everything they post about, everything they talk about is very narcissistic, whether they're showing you their real or fake houses or fancy cars or any of that crap. That crap does not matter. And a lot of times when people are showing you all that stuff, trying to show you, what they would consider to be success, they're a lot of times doing it for a reason, to try and hide something. And a lot of times it's not even true. They're showing you rented or fake stuff, or they got it in some other way. But it doesn't have anything to do with you running better ads. And so there's so much of that crap out there. I tend to stay away from people where it's all about them. And I recommend you do as well. And then the last thing I've talked about today for a red flag is if you're learning from somebody or doing business with somebody, I would look and see what they were doing a few years ago. If you look at me, I've been doing ads for many years, many years. But a lot of people who are now either ad experts or they're AI experts, what were they doing a couple years ago? Well, some of them were NFT experts. And before that, they were crypto bros or broettes. They might be COVID scientist experts or war experts, or they're social media experts before, but they jump from thing to thing to thing. They grift from one thing to another. And today it might be AI agencies or Facebook ad agencies. So are they really experienced? Are they really skillful? I doubt it. Most of them are not. See what they've been doing. Have they been doing this for a long time, or are they just grifting from one thing to another? So those are some red flags that I see in a lot of scammers. And again, let me be clear. There could be somebody that does one or multiple of these things that is not a scammer. It doesn't guarantee that somebody's a scammer. So don't get mad if you do one of these things and you're not a scammer. It's okay. I understand. Just in my mind, I would avoid that. I would avoid you if you did one of these things. That's all. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that it's 100% for sure a scammer, but in terms of me giving advice, trying to help people avoid them based off of what I've seen, and I've seen a lot of them, I would absolutely avoid anybody that does any of these things. And I think you'll be better off. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So my friends, I hope that was helpful. Next week, it's going to be a really good episode. I'm going to be sharing why so many advertisers are testing Facebook and Instagram ads in the wrong way and how you can fix it. Until then, episode 458 is in the books. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. I'll talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.